Hello everyone! Hearthstone's Journey to Ungoro card reveal season is underway, and one of the more unique revealed cards so far is Hemet, Jungle Hunter. In this video I want to take a look at, is Hemet any good? It has a unique effect, so how good is that effect exactly? First, let's take a look at Hemet. Hemet, the Jungle Hunter. A 6 mana 6/6 with a battle cry to destroy all cards in your deck that cost 3 mana or less. What? So first of all, in order to evaluate this card, we need to remember that whenever you can add consistency to your deck, that's a good thing. That's the reason we add multiple copies of cards to our decks. That's the reason we really look forward to finding any cards that help us manipulate our deck mid-game. It's even part of why Patches is so good. Patches is both tempo with the charge minion, and it also tints your deck from an undesirable draw later in the game, making your deck more consistent. And Hemet adds a lot of consistency to your draws, because you can build your deck around this. You can design which cards are going to be destroyed when Hemet is played. And it removes all of your early game. So if you no longer need that, getting them out of there, getting better top decks, that sounds like a good idea. Unfortunately, Hemet also removes a whole lot of direct damage, hard removal, these sort of spells that many decks actually like to have, and especially control decks. So Hemet is not something you want to play in a control deck. It takes you closer to fatigue, it takes away your removal. Kind of a loss-loss situation. However, if control decks are out of the picture, what else could Hemet work on? The obvious first thought is, okay, can we go combo? And if we want to go combo, why not go big combo? Go Holy Wrath, Molten Giant combo. Drop that Hemet. Filter out all the rest, play Holy Wrath, hit the opponent to the face for 25 when you draw the Molten Giant. That's going big combo. Unfortunately, this combo is not that easy to pull off. Hemet costs 6 and Holy Wrath costs 5. So overall, that's 11 mana. Without the coin you cannot do it on the same turn. And if you happen to draw your Molten Giants, okay, then you won't be able to pull off the combo. If you can't do the combo in one turn, if you have only the Molten Giants left in the deck, at worst you have only one Molten Giant left in the deck, and you draw it next turn before you're able to play Hemet. Okay, again you're in trouble. Maybe we could add in a Berkeley Bully. Berkeley Bully gives me coins, that's awesome, then I can play the combo. But then again the Berkeley Bully might be in the deck beneath the Giants, and then you again are not going to make it happen. So Holy Wrath plus Molten Giant Paladin looks gimmicky at best. I mean, Molten Giant Holy Wrath Paladin has already existed. Some people have actually tried to play that. Not very seriously, but still. And it's hilarious when it works. And with Hemet it is going to work a little bit more than before, but it still doesn't look competitive. When you look at other potential combos and combo decks, well, you have stuff like Malygos decks. Malygos Druid, Malygos Rogue, they generally don't seem to benefit from Hemet. Malygos combo decks rely on a large number of cheap spells, so they slam down Malygos and then they slam down those cheap spells and kill the opponent. And with Hemet destroying all those cheap spells that you still have left in the deck, the only window of opportunity you would have to play Hemet would be after you have drawn the spells but haven't found Malygos. So doesn't look very likely. Where else could you imagine using Hemet? Well, you could go Quest Hunter. The new Hunter quest requires you to run a lot of 1 mana minions, and those are pretty poor draws later in the game. However, the quest reward, Queen Karnassa, when played, shuffles 15 more 1-drops, but these are good 1-drops, into your deck. So if you want to play Hemet in Quest Hunter, you have this small window of opportunity. You have to play Hemet when you have drawn all the 1-drops you need to activate the quest. You don't have to activate the quest before you play Hemet, the cards in your hand are still there. But also you must not have played Queen Carnassa yet, so you must not have shuffled the Raptors into your deck. The probability to find Hemet for this very small window of opportunity is quite low. So while Hemet could see play in Quest Hunter, I don't see that it's very reliable there. Maybe it's still worthwhile. I mean, hitting that Hemet sometimes when you get that opportunity, that might be good enough. But then it's a dead draw if you draw it after you have played Queen Carnassa, so there is a downside to running it in Quest Hunter. Where else could you play Hemet? What if you go aggro? But what? Why would an aggro deck want to run Hemet? Why would an aggro deck want to destroy all the low-cost stuff from its deck? Well, maybe you play Hemet on 6, you have already reduced your opponent to fairly low health, you have built your deck so that everything that costs more than 3 is burst finish. When you play that Hemet, you are guaranteed to top deck burst finish. Maybe it's a Leroy Jenkins, maybe it's a Jade Lightning. But if you have no dead draws remaining, everything after Hemet is burst, then that might actually be pretty interesting. The downside is running this 6 mana 6/6 minion, which itself is slow, so it doesn't do anything on the turn it's played. But there is potential upside in top decking burst after burst after burst after playing Hemet. So maybe even aggro might be interested. Or perhaps you want to go ramp. Ramp Druid. Accelerating your mana, getting to high mana and then slamming down one big minion after another. Throw in a Hemet into this deck. So you will destroy all of your unused innervates, your unused wild growths, that kind of stuff from your deck, and you're guaranteed to top deck one big minion after another. Just maybe. Would have also been pretty sweet in an Astral Communion deck. Astral Communion is kind of the ultimate form of Ramp Druid. Pretty inconsistent form though. But Astral Communion is rotating into Wild now, so that combination is only available in Wild. And there is the small downside that Astral Communion being a 4 mana spell means that if you're running 2 copies of Astral Communion, you have the other one still in the deck, then Hemet is not going to destroy that one, because it costs exactly 4 mana. But still, Hemet would also be an option in an Astral Communion deck. Or then maybe you just want to go midrange. Just your regular standard midrange deck. You want to curve out, you want to push hard in the mid game, and you want to finish the game, let's say by turn 10. So if you do this kind of a deck and you run Hemet in it, then on turn 6 if you play Hemet, all of your early game is destroyed, and from then on you will only pick these mid-range threats that you can actually play and apply more pressure. There is some downsides to this though, so let's say you're playing mid-range Hunt for example, and Hemet will destroy your kill commands. So it's not all fun and games. So Hemet requires this sort of specific deck design on deciding what cards do I want to run that cost 3 mana or less, what cards do I want to run that cost 4 mana or more. And if you can make that work, then you can really use Hemet to manipulate your remaining deck to ensure that your top decks are pretty good. There are some decks that don't want Hemet ever. Control decks are one. I cannot see a control deck, a non-combo deck, control deck, wanting Hemet, because much of their hard removal is this low-cost cards. I have a hard time seeing Rogue ever wanting to play Hemet. Rogue relies on low-cost cards that give Rogue cycle and tempo very deep into the game, so destroying all of those cards from a Rogue deck doesn't seem like a good idea. But for many others, combo, aggro, ramp, midrange, there are lots of potential applications for Hemet, and lots of places where it might find a home. So it's a very interesting card because it's kinda hard to evaluate, but it might turn out to be good. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.